What makes you a human and different from any other animal on this planet? Humanity, love, or the ability to sympathize with another and be kind? Today we will find the answer to what you will become if you could identify and overcome society's continuous brainwashing. You had no fear of being punished by the law or religion. And you had nothing such as humanity, love, or the ability to sympathize and be kind toward another human being. And you lived selfishly for yourself, doing whatever you can imagine and want to do without any consequence. This story is set in a multiverse setting. Those who don't know, the multiverse refers to multiple realities and universes. For example, let's say you are a human or a guy in this universe. In another alternate reality and universe, you are maybe a birdman or fishman out of the infinite number of universes, planets and Earths. We will focus on a specific Earth called Earth C-137. Your name is Rick, and you are often called Rick C-137 because you live in Earth dimension C-137. From a young age, it's clear that you are brilliant and have always had a passion for building and inventing. One day you are working in your garage, trying to figure out portal travel, when an alternate version of yourself, Rick Prime, appears through a portal in front of you. Rick Prime offers you portal travel technology and tells you that once you have access to portal travel technology, anything will become possible and you will essentially become a god.
What? Imagine doing anything you want, then hopping to a timeline where you never did it. Imagine going anywhere, anytime with nobody able to stop you. You think it's cool being the smartest man on Earth, but once we give you this technology, you become the smartest thing in every conceivable universe. The infinite Rick. A god.
Wait, who is this guy? And what's this godlike power he is offering to you? First of all, as I explained before, this video is set in a multiverse setting where infinite number of realities exists, which means there are infinite number of Rick. However, Rick Prime is the most intelligent and powerful Rick out of all the other Ricks that has ever existed, because he didn't need to be taught how to build a portal gun. He is the one who independently invented interdimensional travel and portal travel technology. That's why he is called Rick Prime. The moment he cracked interdimensional travel, everything you know as common sense and normal changed. When you have access to infinite universes, nothing you do actually matters because there is a duplicate universe right next to it. You can kill anyone you want. You can bury anyone you want. You can do any crime you can imagine, and you can just open a portal and live to another universe without facing any consequences, guilt or remorse. With access to power like this, Rick Prime realized morality, justice, law or common sense, nothing matters anymore. He truly felt like a god who can do whatever he wants without ever facing any consequences, which also pushed him deep into nihilism. He truly felt like nothing is real, nothing matters, and he is the only entity that truly exists. To him, every human, including his wife Diane, his daughter Beth, and his son-in-law Jerry, are not actual people with feelings, rights, or consequences. Everyone is like an NPC in a video game to him. To him, life and death of people has lost all meanings, because if his daughter is dead in a universe, he can just slide into an identical universe where she is alive. He looks at ordinary people the way a human looks at ants. They are trapped in a single timeline, blinded by emotions like love, fear and loyalty. He views himself as the only authentic Rick Sanchez. Every other Rick in the multiverse is just a lesser derivative copy of himself, because he was the first to invent portal travel independently. After inventing portal travel technology, Rick Prime abandoned his wife, daughter, and his home reality behind and traveled across the multiverse. After traveling across the multiverse, out of all the things he could have done with his godlike power, he decided to distribute portal travel technology to other versions of himself. attempting to form an infinite brotherhood of godlike scientists who abandon their attachments.
Imagine doing anything you want, then hopping to a timeline where you never did it. Imagine going anywhere, anytime with nobody able to stop you. You have yourself, your infinite selves. It's a non-stop party where all the guests are the only person we like. You think it's cool being the smartest man on Earth, but once we give you this technology, you become the smartest thing in every conceivable universe. The infinite Rick, a god.
However, you are different. You are Rick C-137. You decided to pass on the technology because it sounds lonely to have such godlike powers.
Sounds lonely. Lonely? Dude, pass.
This decision leads to Rick Prime leaving the garage, mocking you for not taking the technology, telling you that no version of Rick ever passes a portal technology. You sigh in comfort of seeing yourself as a different kind of Rick.
Excuse me? Bro, Ricks don't pass on this. Who do you think you are? A different kind of Rick, I guess. Well, we'll see how long that lasts.
Soon after, when you come back from getting ice cream for your daughter Beth and wife Diane, a portal opens in the garage and a bomb falls through, killing both Beth and Diane. I think when Rick Prime traveled the multiverse to hand out portal technology, he expected every other version of himself to be just like him. Lonely, arrogant geniuses eager to abandon their families for godhood. When you rejected him, it completely broke Rick Prime's worldview. To Prime, your refusal was an insult to his own choices. By choosing a quiet life with Diane over infinite power, you proved that Rick Prime's path wasn't the only correct one. Rick Prime dropped the bomb out of pure spite to force you to become just like him. Watching your family being killed in front of your eyes by Rick Prime, you become traumatized. You struggle a lot with depression and eventually decide to go through with inventing portal travel to get revenge on Rick Prime for murdering your family. In a pursuit of vengeance, you invent portal travel and start traveling to multiple realities, killing countless alternate versions of yourself, hoping to find Rick Prime who killed your family. The traumatizing pain of losing your family has made you so empty inside that at that point you are completely consumed by immense nihilism, living only for the sake of revenge, not valuing your life or anyone's life. You reach the peak of nihilism where nothing truly matters to you anymore. You only care about taking revenge on a Rick Prime. You even bomb a gathering of Ricks who out of fear submit to you. This marks the beginning of your godlike power, which is solidified when the other Ricks build a citadel for you and the other Rick and Mortys from all dimensions to live together. However, you don't care about this citadel. You are careless about individual realities and people. You are only focused on finding Rick Prime to get your revenge. Eventually, you track Rick Prime's original universe, where Rick Prime was born, invented portal travel and abandoned Diane. You crash into Rick Prime's garage only to find that Rick Prime, being a selfish nihilist who has no attachments, had abandoned his own family and universe. At the moment of crash, you see Rick Prime's grown-up daughter Beth. Watching the alternate version of your daughter Beth, who was killed by Rick Prime in childhood, gets you filled with immense grief. On the other hand, Beth gets emotional thinking his daddy Rick Prime, who had left her and her family in her childhood, has finally come back to her. You feeling the loneliness caused by the murder of your own family and watching the adult version of your daughter in front of yourself. You decided to take Rick Prime's place and move in with the adult version of Beth and her family, hoping one day Rick Prime might come back to his original dimension and you can get your revenge on him. To Beth and her family, it seems like Rick Prime has finally returned, but in reality, it's you, Rick C-137. You even adopt Rick Prime's grandson, Morty, as your own, and this new relationship gives you something you never had before. After all this trauma, you seem to have found your place and are happy with your new family. But in reality, it's just you, an alternate version of Rick Prime who moved in with his family, trying to fill the empty void of loneliness.
Nothing you think matters. This is happening infinite times across infinite realities.
After searching for Rick Prime for your entire life, you finally track Rick Prime in the middle of nowhere in space, only to see that he is in some insane, invisible death trap. He starts trolling you, mocking you through a screen while a naked, potential clone version of Rick Prime dances in a tube. Rick Prime is essentially a jigsaw here, sending waves of robots after you, setting up fake bomb countdowns, and on top of it, communicating only through a pre-coded message. You try to go after him, not caring that it's an obvious trap, but then Morty gets through you.
I don't care if you die, why do you care if I die? Knock it off, get out of here. You did this last season, you're like a suicide bomber. Takes one to know one? Yeah, well you get it from him, not me. I don't know him. You're my grandpa, Rick. Rick and Morty, 100 years.
At the end of the episode, we get one of the most important lines.
You promise I'm not, bait? To make that Rick come back? What? Morty, for you to be bait, the guy'd have to value something. He truly does not give a shit. He's the real deal.
For a long time, you were considered the Rickest Rick, not just by himself and the fan, but even by evil Morty himself.
He's the Rickest Rick.
But from the line that you say to Morty and what we have seen in the show, you do care about your family and save them numerous times.
Morty, where's your collar? I'll fix it. I dropped it! You're a rogue, Rick. Irrational, passionate. You love your grandkids. You came to rescue them.
Which makes you the Rickest Rick because you can do basically anything Rick Prime can, but you still have the capacity of caring about your chosen family. In Season 7, Episode 5, Morty Chicken, we see just how much of a sadistic maniac Rick Prime actually is. For one, he's got an infinite number of clones scattered across multiple universes, making it nearly impossible to find him. And even after locating seemingly the correct one, thanks to the help of evil Morty, he manages to not only grab a hold of the three of you with a venom symbiote-like substance, but also gets a hold of your portals. This is when we get the biggest reveal in the show. See, Rick Prime didn't just kill your wife and daughter with that bomb. Rick Prime erased his wife Diane from every conceivable universe using the Omega device. Rick Prime promises you and the other Ricks trapped there that the last one standing will be able to see Diane again. An obvious lie. But because all the Ricks here are dumbasses and blinded by emotion, everyone starts fighting with each other. You, Morty and evil Morty team up to win, only for Rick Prime to unleash a disturbing robot bearing the face of Dan, showcasing how depraved he really is. After you destroy the robot, the entire place erupts into flames. Your portal guns don't even work. You and evil Morty team up. You end up inventing a portal gun and escaping the fire. After arriving, you analyze the symbiote substance and finally find Rick Prime. Then he gives us another reveal.
Honestly, wife guy, I do miss when it was just us. The only two Ricks who actually invented portal travel.
The only two Ricks who actually invented portal travel. This line is important and reveals something much deeper. I will discuss about it at the end of this video. Anyway, the three of you try to jump his ass, and Rick Prime showcases yet again who he is. He barely even looks at you, all while dodging your attacks. All the while, he monologues about how he is going to erase everyone you know from your family tree, starting with Slow Mobius.
Uncle Slow? Slow Mobius? Yeah, this one hurts me too.
Then he pulls a Thanos and spawns a bunch of these damn robots. Even in his solo fight with Evil Morty, Rick Prime adapted very quickly to Evil Morty's fighting techniques. Eventually, Rick Prime was about to end the battle when Evil Morty outsmarts him by putting his eye patch on our Morty. Despite Rick Prime displaying time and time again that he thinks of every possible scenario, he is still a Rick and therefore underestimates the potential of Morty. After Evil Morty takes him out, Rick Prime offers him to form an alliance with him, but Evil Morty is not interested at all. Instead, he takes out all of his clones and steals the Omega device's schematics before he brings you in to finish him off. And what we see next is easily a top 5 moment in the entire show. Rick Prime tells you to go after Evil Morty because he could build the Omega device again and erase them from existence. You don't even listen to him and immediately start pummeling the shit out of him.
Let's do this then! You're welcome, by the way! I made you! I showed you infinity! And what did you do with it? Hang out with my grandson? Raise echoes of my daughter? What's your life without me? Let's find out. Admit it! You would have been me! I just walked into your garage before you walked into mine! But eventually, you did! You live in my house!
Rick Prime dies laughing maniacally. You walk out with your nemesis blood all over you, staying totally silent and feeling extremely hollow because you lived your entire life with the purpose of taking revenge on Rick Prime for killing your wife and daughter. And now that it's over, Evil Morty asks you,
How's it feel? Better? No? Exactly the same?
The biggest question I had was why Rick Prime did what he did and what was his reason. After thinking a lot, I have come to piece together why he did what he did. Here is my theory. Rick Prime was probably on like Rick C-137, a simple family man with ambitious goals. Then he invented interdimensional travel and traveled across many universes to other versions of himself and his family. That's when he realized that nothing matters. So he spiraled and got sucked into endless void of nihilism. He left Diane and Beth, probably in pursuit of something greater to give him purpose. Maybe he didn't find anything, and after returning to his family, Diane wanted nothing to do with him and lashed out at him. In response, he traveled the multiverse to find a Rick much like himself. He then offered him the formula for interdimensional travel so that he could become the infinite Rick. There is 2 reasons behind doing this. First, to prove to himself that his decisions were right.
You're me, except, less.
Second, he wanted to form an infinite brotherhood of godlike scientists who abandoned their attachments.
You have yourself, your infinite selves. It's a non-stop party where all the guests are the only person
But
we
Rick
like.
C-137 decided to pass.
Pass.
And you can see from Rick Prime's reaction.
Excuse me? Bro, Ricks don't pass on this. Who do you think you are?
Perhaps seeing a Rick who was better than him, a Rick who stayed with his family and didn't obsess over becoming this unstoppable god, made Rick Prime jealous. Rick C-137 is everything Rick Prime ever wanted to be, someone who had meaning. So in response, Rick Prime kills Rick C-137's family. Not out of a personal vendetta, but to prove that no one is better than him and all Ricks have a tipping point.
You're me, except, less. But you acted like you were better, so I killed your beloved Diane.
And that one act caused our Rick to transform into another Rick Prime, a person who realized that everything is infinite and nothing matters. You could argue that the reason Rick Prime chose to erase Diane across infinity relates to this too. If he couldn't have his wife, then no other Rick could.
You died everywhere. Forever. You're the only thing I can't replace.
Just look at the little digs he tries to get in while Rick 137 is pummeling him to death.
Admit it! You would have been me! I just walked into your garage before you walked into mine! But eventually, you did! You lived in my house!
Rick Prime loves as he dies because he knows he succeeded in his plan to prove that he is no worse than any other Rick out there as long as they have the power to see infinity. Since Rick 137 is the only other Rick who created portal travel,
Honestly, wife guy, I do miss when it was just us. The only two Ricks who actually invented portal travel.
he indirectly ruined every Rick's life because he is the one who created the citadel of Ricks. Essentially, Rick Prime represents what Rick 137 might have become if he had lost all emotional connections and attachments to everyone, as several episodes show.
Morty, where's your collar? I'll fix it.
I dropped it!
You're a rogue, Rick. Irrational, passionate. You love your grandkids. You came to rescue them.
He never did lose that. Rick Prime is the twisted reflection of Rick 137, sincerely the darkest and worst version of Rick. Rick Prime isn't just cruel, he is extremely petty, killing another Rick's family not out of necessity but to prove that no one could ever surpass him. And while he eventually dies at the hands of Rick 137, he still wins through his death because he left Rick 137 with emptiness, adrift in a world of infinite possibilities, yet forever shackled to a single moment of loss. All it left Rick 137 with is the harsh truth that the man who broke him was also the man who defined him. He gave Rick 137 infinity to prove that no other Rick is better than him. However, what makes Rick 137 better than Rick Prime is his humanity and his attachments to his family.